This podcast will hopefully contain words or statements of obscene, pornographic, or immoral character. You have been warned.
Podcast, Potty Mouth Records, podcast, stupid games and business crap. Easy up, you're my crack, get ready for something fucked up, like a 12-part pilot. You'll love this podcast.
I wanted to try it.
Go.
All right.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
After last time, I was like, I want to try it. I want to see how hard it actually is. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. I have I have like the high end vocal cords are gone.
Yeah.
I don't know where they went. When I decided I wasn't a man and I needed to take testosterone, I lost all my falsetto's gone now.
Wait, you started taking testosterone?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I knew that,
but
that made your voice lower.
I don't know. I'm making up excuses. It didn't make it lower. I could grow a beard. Apparently it makes your balls smaller. I don't know about that. Actually, probably so. And the only people I would want to ask, I don't want to ask. So, or only people I could ask, I don't want to ask. I don't know. That's what Gavin said.
That seems like it would have the exact opposite effect. Like, wouldn't your balls get bigger if you take testosterone?
Well, yeah, theoretically it sounds right, but no, I think it's the opposite.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite, and maybe my cranium will get big like Barry Bonds.
So what you're saying is I have an excessive amount of testosterone already.
Yeah, you might have it. Yeah, because dude, I have none. Like it is. I think I'm next to producing babies. Like it is. You know how the commercials come on and it asked all the fucking stupid questions, and you're like, yeah.
You mean like the erectile dysfunction commercials?
No, not those. Like they had you might suffer from low T.
Oh, low T.
Yeah, and it's like so I got tested and I had no T. Like it is sad.
Wait, you literally had zero?
It is minute. Like I physically have to fucking take shots.
Do you remember your number when they tested you?
I could look it up. Oh, it's when I got the first time. Oh my God, it was horrible. Yeah, it wasn't negative, but it wasn't, there wasn't a whole lot there.
Like you have a clitoris now.
Take this so your balls will get a little bit smaller, but you'll lose the clit.
I mean, I guess it's not really funny, but
fuck, dude,
if this is how this episode is starting out, I'm gonna fucking run with it.
Dude, what are you gonna fucking do? Oh my God. All right, I'm trying. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so you start talking whilst I look for my score.
Well, I just honestly was genuinely curious what your score was, because when I went to the doctor last year, to get some like tests done and stuff, they did like this full blood panel on me. And that was one of the things that they tested my testosterone levels. And I was like, okay, like, is that something that like needed to be done? And they're like, well, you're getting to the age where, it's good to see what that number is, just to, I guess to just kind of put you in a range of like how that's going for you as you age or whatever. And
yeah,
mine was still like pretty, I don't know what like high is mine was like in the 650s or 670s or something like that. And he said it was like really good for my age bracket.
Yeah. I'm trying to find like a pre one, because I'm finding all the ones where I was like, so I inject. Oh, there's a good one. I like normal level is like 348.
Okay.
And mine was this is on this is 373. And I think I'd already started taking medicine then.
Oh, damn. So that was your already on medicine number.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah. So the South Park song was not written about you.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so here's a good one. Um, once again, we're aiming for 348. This one I was at 162.2.
Damn, bro. Like you literally had a clit.
I think so. I think they were giving them out for free, and I didn't understand it.
Damn, that's crazy low. That's insane.
Yeah, dude, it sucks. Wow, I've been taking this shit a while.
So when you started, well, I remember when like all that kind of started, because I remember when I came back to visit and like out of nowhere you had like a beard, and I was like, what the fuck?
I lost my high vocals, but I had facial hair, dude.
Yeah.
You can't fucking beat it. I'll trade. That's a trade I'll make any day.
Like I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is I have a masculine kick-ass beard now. The bad news is can't sing blood fart accurately anymore.
No, I can't hit those fucking notes at all. I was training Blythe to do it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I mean, because that was probably easily like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what those results were from. Actually, that was when I started taking it and I actually started growing the hair.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, so like what are the numbers at now? Are you like
I'm like midline,
like
whatever,
300s again?
Oh no, I'm like in the like 600s.
Oh, so you're like way up.
I'm normal, but it's because I take shit. If I don't take it, oh my God, I'm like an old fucking man. So I can't believe we're talking about this. So if I don't take it within like I need to do a shot tonight. If I don't do it tonight, I got about a 3-day window, and then fucking everything hurts.
Oh,
like
really?
my knees. Oh my God, it feels. Yeah, my knees are gone. Like they just start. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
no
whoop,
shit.
Whoop. Like it just. And I'm always fucking tired. I'm this car crash. It was Scott Davis when he posted up about whatever, feeling young and not feeling old at all. I'm like, fuck that, dude. I am old. I feel
it. Well, that's probably because of his fresh divorce though.
Oh my God.
he's feeling all young and spunky because he just got a divorce and he's super happy about it.
Dude. Oh.
So you have to take these shots like every week.
Yeah, if I take them every other week, my tits get bigger because my body doesn't process the testosterone quick enough. Like I was supposed to take them every other week. Because these needles are a fucking bitch.
Jesus.
Because the shit is like honey, like the testosterone. It's like real thick. So it takes like a minute to load the needle, and it takes about a minute to unload the needle into the body.
Jesus,
it fucking blows. But if you get a needle that actually kind of sucks it up and you can shoot it straight in, oh my God, it's like using a fucking ink pen. That bitch hurts.
Yeah, where does it go in your leg?
Thigh, yeah.
Gnarly. Yeah, I didn't realize you had to.
If you have somebody that likes you, they can shove them in your ass, but the thigh's okay. I'm okay with that job.
Do you like switch legs every couple weeks or something, or like?
I'm not feeling that flexible anymore. I just do the same fucking leg.
Yeah,
it's easy. I just throw it like a dart into my leg. I fucking do. I totally like, doof, and just start pushing.
That's crazy. So I mean, other than like the aches and pains, like kind of stop. I mean, do you like not even like the sexual part? Like, do you like, does it make you feel like you have more energy? Is that kind of like the main thing of it?
Well, it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't for me. I think there's other shit, I guess. I don't know. I probably should be more active. I'm not, because I don't fucking like it.
we've already determined this, that you don't like activity.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I am.
Maybe you have more testosterone if you were like more active.
No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. No, this shit don't come back because I've been outside walking. That's the way I can lower my diabetes or get rid of my diabetes, but it doesn't.
Your diabetes?
My diabetes. I think I'm out. I'm out right now. It's good.
Out of testosterone?
No, actually, I am. Believe it or not, apparently there's a shortage, or at least that's what my pharmacist said.
Yeah.
And so my doctor said, no, this isn't true. But there's 2 distributors, and I guess my pharmacy pulls from one, and that distributor doesn't have it, but the other one probably has it.
Gotcha.
I'm like, oh, well, that's fucking helpful.
What were you saying that you were out of?
Testosterone.
No, but before that, I thought you were you said.
Out of my diabetic range. Like, I'm like, I balance between pre-diabetic and not at all. No, so it's actually cool as shit.
Oh, that's good.
Listen to your doctor, because sometimes they know what the fuck they're talking about. I don't believe her all the time, but most of the time I do.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, no, that's good. I mean, that's definitely like getting control of that number is like a big deal, because that shit gets harder and harder the older you get, apparently.
And I am a sugar whore, so it sucks.
Yeah, Dad's dealing with that shit right now. He's like, he's on all kinds of different shit trying to like get his fucking numbers down, and he fucking just doesn't eat the greatest. So,
oh my God, yeah, it fucking blows.
I mean, he eats okay, but he eats a lot of shit though too. He's like a cookie guy at night and stuff like that.
Damn, Skippy, my 2 Go-Gurts every night before I go to bed. Damn. Strawberry frozen. I'll give Blythe credit for that secret.
Yeah.
Freezing your Go-Gurts, and then you have like a little popsicle full of yogurt.
Nice.
Goodness.
Is she a senior this year?
Holy shit, yes. God, I'm getting fucking old.
I was just because like we were somewhere the other day and we saw a bunch of kids getting on the school bus. I was like, oh yeah, I guess school's kind of starting the next week or so. And yeah, I saw a picture of Gavin today from a show they played or something. I thought about her and I was like, oh, she's gonna be a senior.
It's fucking crazy. I know, we were laughing. I saw the picture too. I was like, look at him. Oh, because he works out so he could look buff on stage.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking ass.
You never looked that ripped.
Fuck no, I didn't.
He does not get those genes from you.
Oh no, that's the fooler in him. That's definitely not a tailor. I can't tell you one tailor that has any fucking body mass that's from Williamsport.
Yeah, I mean his grandfather's pretty like tall and thin.
Mm-hmm. So is his uncle and his cousins. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's kind of like the blessing and curse of being like a taller, thinner person. It's like you can get ripped really easily, but you're always like a tall and skinny person though.
Well, luckily he's a short and skinny person, so I don't know what the fuck that makes him.
Yeah, no, that one picture I was like, damn, bro, fucking someone's doing some fucking rowing machine or something.
I don't know what the fuck he does. He bought a fucking bench and he like took it upstairs. I don't know where the fuck it is upstairs. So I live in a house that has 3 floors. The 3rd floor is a converted attic. I do not go up there unless I don't. I haven't gone up there in 2
I don't
or
even
3
think
years.
I even knew that existed.
Like, so the boys, Gavin now, because Cooper's out. I don't know what the fuck Cooper does, but he just took it upstairs and it's disappeared into that abyss. I'll clean the kitty litter at the bottom of the stairs, and I might look up, but that's as far as it goes. I'm scared.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't even know that part of your house even existed.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Why I need to check that out.
Well, I think Blythe's always away when you're home, so you get her room. It's easy. It works out well. I think she said she hates you.
She hates me?
Yes.
What I do?
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's just up there fucking like listening to like Hate Breed and Integrity, just like busting out reps.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny. Okay, so my house is 100 years old as well. And so the whole thought process of insulation between the floors and everything else that didn't exist.
Yeah.
So he is upstairs fucking cranking it up. We're in here trying to work. And it's just like he's standing right beside us, like listening to the jams. I'm like, God damn. So it is awesome. He practices. Like if they don't practice in a while, he practices like he sings along, but he sings along at full volume to keep like his lung capacity and shit up. So smart on him, because I would never fucking do that.
Damn, look at him with the fucking like work regimen and stuff.
I know, it's fucking nuts.
Where does he get that from?
Not me.
Exactly.
Not me.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, well, I have a couple things to get us started with. One thing is ever since last episode, we were talking about uniform choice, and I've been thinking about them all week, and I've been wanting to listen to Screaming for Change, and I didn't get a chance to until today. And I put it on earlier. I listened to the whole thing from front to back. And it's funny because I totally forgot. So if there's any doubt as to how impactful that record was to me growing up, like skating and just music in general, I really honestly totally forgot that if you listen to the very first song on that record, which is Use Your Head, and pretty much the first like 15-20 seconds of that song are like almost exactly as Death by Dodgeball.
How fucking awesome is that?
And I remember kind of like, and it was definitely a subconscious thing that happened, because it wasn't like anyone made the comment like, let's write this song to sound like the beginning of that Uniform Choice song. But that song was that was heavy in my rotation as a teenager. And I definitely think that was just my subliminal, like, or subconscious, like wanting to make a version of that song.
I always said The Faction was mine. Like that's what I always wanted. I always wanted that because it was always upbeat. It was good to skate to, but it was I could see going out beating somebody up, but not like throwing down. But I hate the word skank. Dancing around in a circle.
Yeah, skank it up.
Fuck, I hate that. So
why do you hate skanking?
I've never liked the fucking term. Like it has always bothered me. I don't know why.
Do you hate skank more than mosh?
Yeah. No. Oh wait, whoa. No. Vice versa. Yes, I dislike mosh even more.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm more of I would say skank before I would say mosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like old. Yeah, but I didn't like it back when I was a kid either. I don't know why.
Yeah, I get that.
It was just like, I don't know. To put a term on it didn't seem right.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. I definitely always thought that mosh was kind of like I guess in the same token, skank could be the same way, but I don't know. I just thought skank sounded cooler. Like mosh, I think mosh just got associated with certain aspects of things that I didn't like. So I just thought it was like cheesy.
I know. And I love Anthrax and I blame them for it.
Yeah. They are definitely a big part of making that more of a mainstream term, I think.
Yeah. So just I'm going to sidetrack you there.
Yeah.
I guess the SOD was the first time I ever saw like the New York hardcore like logo anywhere. Like on the album, on the lyric sheet.
Like the X.
Yeah. That was the first time I'd ever seen that. There's my sidetrack. Off tangent.
Well, yeah. Well, they were definitely, I think they were pretty straight or forthcoming with the fact that they were very heavily influenced by the New York hardcore scene, and that they actively were like biting things from the scene, because they were, I guess they were involved with it, but I don't know. I feel like they were maybe more later to they were in it at the beginning in a way, but I think they kind of more got into it maybe a little bit later and were just enthralled by it and borrowed from it. But they never really denied that they borrowed from it, though. I don't think they ever tried to claim that they were like the inventors of any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I like they coined a caught in a mosh and shit like that, you know.
Yeah, totally.
So when you write the fucking song about it, it kind of pulls it into your ballpark. I think like that whole scene was a lot tighter than we understood, like just in general, just like, and we talked about it before, like the crossover with them and Public Enemy and like KRS-One and Sick of It All. Like there's definitely a camaraderie between all of them that I don't think, maybe doesn't get publicized enough about how close and how things ran in parallel for a long time, like the hip hop and rap scene and the hardcore scene. Like they all blossomed. I mean, they had to start about this like mid 70s, late 70s, and then they all started blossoming about the same time. So there was always, I mean,
yeah. Well, there's definitely kind of a little, not completely off topic, but sort of like a little bit of a look into that, not necessarily the subgenre quote unquote scenes we're talking about, but I watched that Andy Warhol documentary that was on Netflix. I guess it's still on there, but it's like a 3 or 4 part thing, like his life story kind of. And it's actually really fascinating when they get into like the 70s era of him living in New York and all that stuff, and just like all the things that were going on in that, like the mid 70s, late 70s, early 80s, like just all that, just that scene in general of just everything in New York, just like a lot of counterculture movements going on. And, like the artist that he like was partner with, that Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Don't make me say anything that doesn't have more than one syllable and isn't basic English.
Well, so yeah, but anyway, I think a lot of those scenes probably had lots of like crossover between like people and, like people running in and out of those circles and stuff. So it was just kind of, I mean, they didn't like mention New York hardcore or anything in that documentary, but I'm sure that there's lots of people
like the Dolls and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or just like intermingling amongst their, like the art and music scenes were definitely all like heavily connected. And then, I mean, like you're saying, like New York City, like hip hop in the late 70s, early 80s, like breakdancing. I mean, like all that shit was huge, That brings up something that I definitely have to ask that I don't know about you. Were you ever into breakdancing?
No, I'm not that coordinated. I used to try to do head spins, but that was about as far as it went. I have no fucking body control like that. I'm jealous. I wish I could.
Yeah, but I mean, were you like into breakdancing, whether or not you could actually do it or not?
Fuck, I still watch it when it shows up on TV. Well, yeah. It's fucking cool. It's crazy. I'm jealous.
Did you have Did you have any breakdancing gear? Like, did you have any like jackets or?
Who the fuck are you talking to? Of course we didn't. Who the fuck's gonna foot that bill?
Oh yeah, but there was like cheapo stuff you could get though. No. So you never had any fly breakdancing?
I wish. Like I said, jealous. I'd love to.
I was really into breakdancing, like big time into breakdancing. I really was into Michael Jackson, and then that led me down sort of like a breakdancing. This was all like pretty much, this was happening like right before I started kind of getting into punk music, was like when I was like in a little breakdancing phase. But I definitely could bust a move. And thank fucking God that this video does not exist anywhere, because this is some like top level embarrassing ass shit if it would ever surface. But there's definitely it's somewhere on somebody's attic, or maybe hopefully it got thrown away. But there's a VHS tape of me, probably 9 years old, 10 years old, breakdancing at a wedding reception.
Getting it, boy. Yeah.
And I was getting it, and apparently I was like the life of the fucking party.
Yeah.
And I actually I have a pretty vivid memory of like being at this wedding and like breakdancing and it being filmed. And you know, you're a little fucking kid, man. You don't give a shit about being filmed or whatever. But let's just say that if that shit were to somehow surface and show up on YouTube, that it would be fucking viral and my life would be ruined.
Oh my God. That'd be fucking, well, it wouldn't be awesome for you. It'd be awesome for me to see.
No, it'd be awesome for everybody but me. And then because everyone would be like, why are you so embarrassed about that? It's fucking really funny. It's really good. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to be over here in this room hanging myself.
Oh God. That's fucking awful.
But yeah, it would be funny to see it though. But yeah, that the people whose wedding it was, they're like long divorced.
Nice.
So I'm assuming that shit, you know, got trashed or whatever. But
yeah.
But yeah, I remember having I had a Michael Jackson glove and I had Michael Jackson like socks, but they weren't sequined though. They were like, it was like this like cheap material that was like made it look like it was glittery.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So it was basically like a gardening glove that was just shiny. so it was definitely like poor. It was like a poor people's like Michael Jackson glove. And I did have some type of like shirt. I remember having like this weird like shirt jacket type thing that had like the little holes all through it. And then whatever. So like that was pretty much the end of that little era. Like got into punk and stuff, and that was it. But my other sort of like throwback to breakdancing and just like my love of it was like in the bomb threat days, because I actually like found this. I don't know if you remember it or not, but I had that fucking really cool red breakdancing jacket that had all the zippers on it.
Yes.
I would wear that in bomb threat sometimes at shows. And so it was just kind of, it was kind of funny because most people thought it was like me, like just finding like a funny jacket and wearing it as a costume. But for me, it was actually like sort of like secretly a callback to like finally getting like the breakdancing jacket I always wanted as a kid.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely had like sheets of cardboard. And yeah, I had definitely I loved watching breaking. Like I would watch breaking and
oh my God,
try to like learn some fucking moves from that, and like watching like Michael Jackson videos and trying to yeah.
So do you think, because we can move this on to thrashing and rad, do you think people who were really into the breakdance scene or whatever, it wasn't hip hop at that point, was it? No. Do they look at that and it's like it was just fucking painful to watch? It has to. I know it was. It has to.
Yeah,
be. It's still fucking painful to watch no matter what.
Okay, but you know what? That's actually a really good question, and I've actually never thought about that before in terms of like the breakdancing version of, you know, like breaking. But it's funny because I know thrashing gets a mixed bag of like love and hate, and
it's hate on this side.
Okay, so that's really interesting because for me, it's definitely a love relationship, and I can understand both sides of it, I think, because, you know, you're a little bit older, so I think,
oh, rub it the fuck in.
Well, but I think you were already skating for a few years when that movie came out. And that was sort of, so this is like a little side story, but I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but when we've talked about some skating topics, but my grandmother, she worked with this guy, and he was like one of the very first people I knew who had a VCR. And he was actually, not only did he have one VCR, but he had two VCRs. So he would actually like rent movies and copy them. But this dude had like amassed this huge library of, he was basically like the pre-internet version of like downloading movies, essentially. He's just like, he had like this huge library of stuff. Well, my grandmother was really into the show Dark Shadows. And
oh my God. All right. So before you go, that movie's so fucking horrible. I couldn't even make it through it. Like I turned the bitch
like
off.
the Johnny
Dark
Depp
Shadows.
one.
Yeah, I turned the shit off.
Yeah, well,
and I like Johnny Depp.
I'm
even if he does roll in poo or get poo thrown at him, whatever the fuck. Anyway, back to your story.
Yeah, well, so she was really into Dark Shadows when it was on originally, and she always wanted to watch it again. But you know, in the 80s, it's like we didn't have cable, and even if we did, you know, like who knows when that shit would get re-aired. You know, sometimes you wouldn't see a movie for years or something if you wanted to see it again. So he actually was really into this show Dark Shadows as well. And he had somehow gotten copies of them. I don't know if he rented the series or if he taped them off the TV, but he had VCR tapes of Dark Shadows series. So I remember this wasn't like the only reason, but like one of the catalysts for us finally getting a VCR was that my grandmother wanted to watch Dark Shadows again. So we got a VCR, and then she borrowed these tapes off of this dude she worked with. Well, it turned out this was about the exact same time that I was getting into skating. And, you know, he had asked her if there was anything that I had maybe wanted that he could make me a copy of. So I was like, well, if he has any skateboarding videos, that would be cool to get. So like two of the very first skateboarding videos that I ever saw in my entire life were The Search for Animal Chin, which this guy copied for me, and also Thrashing. So that was sort of like my introduction to skateboarding videos. And I mean, I just thought that Thrashing for me was the ultimate connection of seeing, like, basically because the soundtrack for that was so cool. You know, I had like circle jerks in it. So I remember like recognizing the circle jerks in that movie and being like, oh, okay, like this is like skateboarding and like the music I listened to. So it was like this sort of full circle connection watching that movie and just seeing like the more like punk side of skating, I guess, and what I was like interested in with skateboarding. Whereas like Animal Chin was really good and I loved it, but I don't know, like it's almost like I resonated with Thrashing a little bit more. But I can, at the same time, I can also understand you already skating, being a couple of years older, like this is poser shit or whatever. So
yeah, it's funny. It's weird. Like I think about it, and like at the time, at the time you're still like, this is stupid. I think for me, like Rad was even worse. Like it was so fucking bad. And of course, you've seen this shit a million times because sadly, it was the only thing that represented like that culture. So you watch the shit over and over, even if it wasn't like how you perceived it or what do you want to say? How you thought it was supposed to be. Like you could definitely tell that wasn't it.
Yeah.
It was like, it was just, you know, there's somebody who's just trying to turn a buck is really, you know, but I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
And I liked Rad. I thought that movie was okay, but I think by the time I knew to watch that, I was already just full on into skating and had kind of like phased out of wanting to have a bike and stuff because I was just so immersed in skating at that point. It's like I liked Rad, but I don't know, it just never really clicked with me. But I guess it would be interesting to talk to someone who actually, I guess, was as heavy into breakdancing as what we were into skating, and like how did they view breaking? Was that like their Thrashing essentially? Like
yeah, was it that bad?
Well, another thing for me though too is that so you know, obviously seeing The Search for Animal Chin, that got me like balls deep into Pal Peralta shit. So I was just like all about the Bones Brigade and like whatever, you know, that was all I knew really at that point. I mean, I had some magazines and stuff and knew there was obviously other companies and stuff, but
You were a corporate whore.
yeah, I mean, I was fully bought in on the Bones Brigade. And one thing that I always liked about Thrashing 2 that really clicked was, I mean, I was like infatuated with that movie. And I remember like slow motioning the credits at the end to see like who all the stunt skateboarders were. And then I saw that, you know, a lot of the Bones Brigade dudes were actually the stunt skaters for the ramp locals in Thrashing. So I was like, oh, well, that was a cool connection I made with these guys I already like from this other video. They're so good that they're the stunt skaters in this movie. So that definitely was like a cool connection I made. But yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately don't know any like actual breakdancers that I could have this conversation with them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, of that age too. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing too would be, you know, maybe it was like a bold move to back then to have the girl be like the lead character in a movie like that.
Yeah.
Be an interesting take to like just hear someone from back then, like what their thoughts, because that would be like if Thrashing would have came out and the main skater was like a girl.
Yeah.
It'd be like this, you know, even though there's nothing wrong with it back then, that would have seemed weird.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's weird that things like how did it end up being such a masculine sport?
It's funny we're talking about this too. I just saw someone posted a cover of a Time, I think it was a Time magazine from like 1965, and it was a pic. I think the woman's name is Patty McGee. She's like one of the OG like female skateboarders, and she's doing like a handstand and on this cover of this magazine, like going down the street, and it's like a really sick photo. Just
right.
In these like just like stereotypical like 60s like adolescent outfit, like little white shorts, and she has like some red shirt on, just like doing the illest handstand, like bombing this hill with like a wooden board, you know, with still with like metal wheels and stuff. I'm like, fucking gnarly. Well, that's a beast. That's a good question. Have you ever ridden a skateboard with metal wheels?
Fuck no.
Yeah, I've done it like once, and it's fucking terrifying.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like I don't think I liked skating hard wheels fucking past like 95s at any point.
Oh well. I'll do another plug for Pal Peralta right now.
Oh my god.
So Pal just came out with this new wheel, and it is like the talk of the town. It's called, I guess like George Pal, one of the things he's really been into, you know, like the last 20 years or whatever, is he's like really been focusing on like skateboard wheels. So like the Bones wheels over the last 20 years or so, they have like the SPF and the STF formulas, and he's like really revolutionized skateboarding wheels. Like he pretty much, any like new major wheel innovation in the last 20, 30 years has been from him. And they just came out with this new formula. It's called the Dragon formula. And everybody is fucking talking about these wheels. And apparently they're like really hard to get because everyone's like jocking them so hard. But the gimmick of them is that they're the first skateboarding wheel that are soft but also slide.
Oh, nice.
And which has like never been done before. And
no, because that shit's like rubber.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been watching a bunch of videos of these pros that are like trying these wheels out. And there's this one dude who he basically starts the video out saying like, I am not a paid endorser. I very, very rarely ever like promote a skateboarding product like on my own. He's like, but this wheel, he's like, basically like all other skateboarding wheel companies should be fucking terrified, because this is like no one's going to want to ride any other wheels but these once they try these.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're
What is I don't follow them on Instagram or anything just because it's me and I'm a douche.
Yeah.
So I follow GNS, who does nothing but reissue really expensive fucking boards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, I don't really follow too many like skateboarding things on Instagram just because I look at so much stuff in the like if I'm just browsing, like so much skateboarding stuff comes up for me anyway. Like I just prefer to not follow a bunch of companies.
Oh, I follow a rare like them. I follow Hosoi. He drives me nuts because he's way too gaudy.
He's pretty Jesus-y, dude.
Yeah, he's very Jesus-y. Who else? Neil Blender, of course, because he's fucking badass.
Yeah, his new little company's pretty cool. He's got the heated wheel.
Heated wheel. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He got some cool designs.
Somebody in Dogtown, I think is the only other one I do. Then that's it.
That's cool. Yeah, I was always a big Eric Dressen fan. He was always one of my favorites growing up. I liked him in like all the Santa Cruz videos and stuff. Because he was on Dogtown for a while, I believe.
Yeah, the pup board, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain.
I think he started on Dogtown and then he went to Santa Cruz. And then I think maybe he still does some stuff with Dogtown on occasion, like collab boards or something. Yeah, it's crazy too, because I didn't realize how old that dude was. I always sort of assumed when he was in those Santa Cruz videos, he was like a teenager, but he was actually like in his like earlier mid-20s. I mean, I think he's like in his mid-50s now.
Oh my God, I saw a picture of it's not I think it was Kevin Staub. Oh my God. He looks old. He looks old.
He still fucking rips though.
Yeah, and dude, he just like I was like, holy shit, he looks old. I guess we're all getting old.
Well, all those guys are definitely in the last couple years. It's like my grandmother always used to say this. She's like, human beings age in like spans of 7 years. So it's like every 7 years is when you like change a little bit how you look. And I think that's like pretty accurate. So like those guys, when they're in their 40s up until early 50s, they kind of all look the same. And then once they hit like 53, 54, it's like that's when their new 7-year span was starting. So
that is fucking awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think anybody who listens to us and skates, like check out the PAL Dragon Formula wheels, because I heard I definitely want to get a set. I haven't priced them yet. Everyone's saying they're pretty fucking expensive. I'm guessing they're $60 to $80 a set.
Oh my God.
Which is pretty gnarly, but I mean, they last for a while, and here's the other thing. A lot of more older skaters were saying about they'll never skate anything but these now because they were able to session for way longer without feeling beat up.
Oh no, they're not bad. They're $40.
Oh, 40. Oh, that's not bad. Maybe they're just in high demand, so maybe they're just like hard to get. But I guess so people are already complaining though that these wheels are fucking awesome, but why don't they, everybody wants their exact size millimeter in them. So,
oh my Lord,
why don't they make 58s? Why don't they make 52s? I'm like, well, just fucking hold on. They're probably testing the waters to make sure there's a demand. And
yeah, that's fucking crazy.
So that was pretty cool. It's like not like skateboarding is sort of an odd thing where it doesn't evolve sometimes all that much, but then every once in a while some cool shit like this comes out and it just changes the game completely.
Like lappers.
Like lappers. Hey, you know what, man? People fucking hate on lappers. I always fucking thought lappers were pretty cool. I never utilized them in the way that they were meant to be utilized, but I think they look cool. I always thought lappers looked cool.
I got so much shit because one day I showed up and I had one and I guess nobody noticed. And I was transitioning between over the spine super easy and everybody's like blown away. And I'm like, pow, pow. And then I got all shit on.
Fucking cheater plate. I remember people call it the cheater plate. Well, it was also the Bird, right? Wasn't it? That was like a brand name. There was a
I think it was the Bird, the ACS one.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember like it being called the Bird. So
Yeah, I think that might have been the ACS one.
they still make lappers. I mean, there's companies that make them, like Skeleton Key makes them, and
Oh
a
my
couple other
lord.
like places make them still.
Maybe we need to make some potty mouth
Oh
lappers.
my god!
How fucking
I
awesome would
mean,
that be?
I don't know where you can get like non-printed ones, but I would be down for that. I'll fucking put a potty mouth lapper on my board. I don't give a shit.
I'll sneak them on Gavin's boards. It'll be
That's
awesome.
funny.
Fuck
Well,
yes.
like that's I guess like copers too. Like I always thought copers were
Oh
fun.
my god.
Like you could
So,
grind those nasty like super. Well, that's the other thing too is that growing up on the East Coast, like California is like slappy curb heaven. And slappy curbs weren't really a thing when we were kind of coming up skating. And like, even if there were curbs that you could find to skate, they were very rarely were painted. So you almost had to have copers to like grind any type of curbs back in the day.
so I thought about this. We used to skate at the fucking 7-Eleven up near where the Rockies was in halfway.
Yeah, I know where you're talking
And
about.
we used to skate there from like 12 to
Because
3
there was a bank
at
there.
night all the time. There was a bank, but they had these super fucking painted curb or parking blocks.
Yeah.
We'd shove the parking blocks together and rail slide them all the time and grind them. It was badass. Like we used to just session there.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely remember that 7-Eleven. I think it's like a vacuum cleaner store now or something.
Oh, yeah. No. It could not hold up against the mighty Sheets, but I think that Sheets is gone.
Yeah, that's like a vape store now, I think. It
Oh my
was the last
lord.
time I was back. I'm not sure if it's still there or not. But yeah, it's crazy that yeah, that was like that was our go-to Sheets for like forever
Oh hell yeah.
because that was like right down the street from the jam spot. It's funny, I saw speaking of Sheets, I saw what's his face? Singer of Hatebreed. He actually he popped yeah,
Jamie.
he popped up on my Instagram a few days ago and he had posted a picture of being in a Sheets and he made some comment about uh like what's your favorite store? Is it like Wawa or Sheets? And I just thought that was funny that just that he was in a Sheets at all and like he was like talking about it. Um
So do you remember how No Redeeming used to come down and they had to go to Sheets?
yeah.
Like it was a fucking event to do that. Like it was part of the road stop. No matter what, we were going to Sheets.
Oh yeah, no, those guys were all about Sheets, which I always found that to be completely humorous.
Oh my god.
Perfect segue because I was thinking about like topic we could talk about today and something I thought would be maybe interesting to delve into a little bit is sort of like more of like a origin story of how we actually like sort of got hooked up with those guys.
Oh, well, you tell me.
Because I don't know, I was thinking about that lately and I was like, yeah, that's like something cool we should like probably talk about on the podcast because we had mentioned last week we wanted to try to get more back on, you know, some more potty mouth centric topics and I just thought that was a good one because it really it has so many like the core of the story is cool, but then there's so many like offshoot stories that come from that. So what I feel like what I'd like to do is maybe give like the condensed version of it, but then I already know that there's so many aspects of the story that I feel like there's people who are going to be like, no, that's not what happened. And like, you forgot this part or whatever. So I don't want to go into like super detailed to maybe we have some like a guest on who can confirm some stuff better. But,
Oh my lord.
um,
Who, Dean?
well, no, just like dudes and like, just like dudes who remember shit like even better than I do, like Dave and like people like that.
Oh my god.
But what I do remember is that so Bomb Threat played a show in Music, Pennsylvania. And we had went up there with strong intention and we played we played with Warzone, I'm pretty sure, up there. And at this club, I forget the name of the club, but it was in Moosic, Pennsylvania. It's like Moosic. And I just remember at that show that Vinny and I think it was the dude in their band, a guy named Jason, I think. I forget. I know there was a guy named Jason, but I forget it was the bass.
I have a hard enough time with my kids' names,
Yeah.
so I'm going to fail at this.
But I just remember Vinny coming up to us after the show and just being like, "You guys are fucking awesome, and I want to get you hooked up with my friends and No Redeeming Social Value," because he's like, "I think you guys should like play a show together." And we were like, well, we were like, duh, like we fucking like know who, like, you know, I don't know. He was just such a cool dude. You know, he's like, wasn't making assumptions about people knowing who they were or anything like that, you know?
Right.
So I was like, dude, like we fucking know who those guys are. Like we fucking love that band. And so I forget all the exact details, but I definitely think that like Matt Powell might have like got Vinny's contact info and like may have like been in touch with those guys a little bit. And so flash forward to those guys coming down, and I'm pretty sure there was some other stuff that happened in the interim that I forget about, but those guys ended up coming down to play that like SFT like showcase show at the 180 Club, which was like No Redeeming, that Six and Violence, and like Romantic Gorilla show, and that Bomb Threat played. So I'm pretty sure that was sort of like our first like meeting with those guys and getting to play with them. And yeah, we just like really hit it off with those guys and stuff. And but then that got me thinking too, the other like kind of side story of that was when Warzone played the 180 Club. And I think my recollection is that Bomb Threat was originally supposed to be on the Warzone show. And then something happened that they didn't want us to play. I think from what I remember, it was something about like, I don't know. That was sort of like more of a quote unquote serious show. So they didn't really like.
Oh, they didn't want inflatable penises?
Yeah. Like, I think they just like, and like, I get it to a certain extent, you know, like they're maybe trying to like have a certain aesthetic for the show, like the bands that are playing and stuff. So like we didn't maybe like really fit. But I was definitely kind of disappointed because I really wanted to play that show. And so anyway, I remember I was like, well, I'm going to go to the show anyway. So I remember going to the show and us hanging out with Vinny and a couple of the Warzone dudes. And I think they had thought that we were playing the show because I think it maybe had been promoted originally that we were going to play, but then we got pulled from the show. So those dudes thought we were playing, but
so who pulled you?
I don't remember. See, these are the things that maybe someone else would remember more details about. Like Matt Powell would maybe remember this better than I do because he was pretty much the booking agent of the band. So he probably knows more of the ins and outs of what all went down with that. But I do remember we were supposed to play, then we didn't play, but then we were talking with Vinny at the show and him being super bummed that we weren't going to play. And I just remember him being like, well, fuck this. Like, you guys are going to fucking play. Like, you guys can just like use our gear. And we're just like, what the fuck? Like, what? He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I'm going to talk to Ray and we're like, get you guys to play some songs. So
that is fucking funny.
Yeah. So anyway, like it all ended up going down. Like he talked to Ray and then I remember they were playing their set and like halfway through, Rabies was like something to the effect of, all right, you know, we got like a special treat for you guys. Like we're going to get our friends in Bomb Threat to come up and play a couple songs for you guys. And yeah, I just remember us getting on stage and using their gear. And I don't remember what songs we played. I know we played like 2 songs. And again, someone can correct me on this who knows better, but
they will. Don't you fucking worry.
No, I know,
it.
but
because I would if I could.
Yeah, I definitely think that we may have played Happy. And because I think Vinny was like, dude, I want you guys to play the happy song. and like I said, I may be wrong about that, but I feel like we did play happy because I remember I didn't want to play it because I was like, oh, that's like a fucking boring ass song, and I don't want to do that. There's like way more like energetic songs we could play than that. But I think that's what one of the ones he wanted to hear. And maybe we played Luther or something, or Martina as the other song. I don't remember, but anyway, it was really awesome. And like everybody fucking went off. And so I think it was kind of cool that it ended up kind of working out because we were supposed to play and then we didn't play, but then we ended up playing. So I think it just kind of got everybody more fired up that it was like, we ended up getting to play after all. And that was just a killer show. That was, aside from the like SFT showcase show with No Redeeming and like Six and Violence, I think that Warzone show was probably one of the best shows that ever happened at the 180 Club. Cause
awesome.
That was my first time ever seeing Warzone, and just the fact that we got to share the stage with them and play a couple songs, like that was fucking incredible. And then, so then fast forward though, and this is where you kind of come into the picture because I can't remember certain aspects of this either, but so we got hooked up with No Redeeming at that show, and then not the Warzone show, but the one they played. And then we were basically like, okay, we know we like each other and we want to like continue to play shows together. And I'm pretty certain that that's when a few months later or like a year later is when Bomb Threat was supposed to play CBGBs with No Redeeming. And something, again, this is something someone else is going to have to come on and like confirm the details of, but we were supposed to play CBGBs and something happened that we couldn't do it. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but we had to back out of the show for some reason. And I remember being super bummed, whatever the reason was that we couldn't play. And this was also simultaneously around the same time that like the writing was sort of on the wall that like Bomb Threat was going to go on hiatus. And we like weren't really sure exactly what was going to happen. And that's when I was like, well, if we're going to stop playing, like I want to keep doing something that is along these lines, like musically, like I don't want to just like stop. So that was sort of when like that was like the seed being planted of the Craven Moorheads, because Dave Moats and I were doing our little like side project band, and he was playing bass in the Resurrected Garbage Dog lineup and stuff. So we were already kind of like palling around and like writing music together, and like Matt still wanted to do something. So this is where I don't really remember the exact details of really how everything came together with how we sort of formed, because I don't remember like how you and Fred got in the mix.
So I'm still trying to figure out myself, and we'll have to ask Fred. I think I was already done playing bass by the time we'd started playing. Like because it didn't make enough noise. I think honestly, I think the thought process was I was bored. You were starting something.
Well, hold on. You're talking about Perestroika, right?
No. I'm talking about the Craven Moorheads.
Well,
like,
no,
our first show, I played bass.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is like how you guys even got, like, what was the protocol or like the catalyst that got you and Fred even in the band in the first place?
In which band?
In Craven Moorheads. Like, how did you start playing bass? Like, do you remember like what that? How?
I think you didn't have a bass player, and I wanted to drive. I was willing to drive because I was so not excited by what was happening down here.
Okay.
And apparently it already quit 710 Split. I won't even say the other name. But and I think it was just one of those things, like, and it kind of shotgun. We went from 0 to 50 in no time, because if I remember correctly, we ended up playing a show. Our first show was a show that, like, No Redeeming reached out to somebody for a Bomb Threat to play, and we ended up playing
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Well,
it kind of took that spot.
No, totally.
I forget the name of the record store was.
No, well, okay. No, this is exactly why I wanted to get you. This is where it picks up with you being involved, because this is like kind of bringing it back to the No Redeeming timeline. So I do remember that very first show. And yeah, so the guy who was booking those shows, I was trying to think of his name today. I'm pretty sure his name was Carl, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. So this dude, Carl, he was a super nice guy. He was always like really cool to us, but he had booked Bomb Threat played a show with, he had booked a show that Bomb Threat played. I don't remember what it was. And then we had Craven Moorheads had been jamming, and that dude hit us up. I think maybe he was talking to me for some reason. I don't exactly know why he was talking to me instead of Matt, or maybe he was talking to Matt and Matt passed him on to me. But basically he was like, hey, I want to get Bomb Threat to play this new club that's opening up down. It was Phantasmagoria.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, well, Bomb Threat's not playing, but we have this new band, Craven Moorheads, which is essentially the same people minus, we like have a different singer, but it's like the exact same music and stuff pretty much. And he's like, oh, well, that's cool. He's like, well, you guys can totally play. So that then was, I think, the main catalyst of then continuing the No Redeeming relationship, even like to the next level, because they, like Craven Moorheads, like just as much as Bomb Threat. And I think, yeah, it just, not that we hadn't already clicked with them, but then that had sort of, I think that show like solidified that because I think that's the show that Aaron was at riding the bike, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that, it was just definitely like this, like they're like
the pit cleaner was in full fucking effect.
Yeah, totally. So I think that just was like, they're like, man, you guys, we didn't think you guys could get any dumber, but you did.
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice, right? I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they actually said that, but I think that's,
I know.
I think that's probably what they were thinking. But yeah, so I think at that point, and then that really, from then on, and then we played Phantasmagoria again with them, and that may have been our last show with Dave Moat singing, and Craven Moorheads was that second Phantasmagoria show. Because I think after that is when he got the boot, and then you moved.
Well, he didn't show up.
No, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
No, well,
okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I don't want to feel like the asshole boot.
No, well, he got the boot because he like wasn't showing up to practice, basically. So, but anyway, like going backwards a little bit, you were playing bass, but then you actually switched over to second guitar, and Fred started playing bass.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you remember details about that?
So no, unless Fred was just like, unless he was looking for something to do, and I was stoked that I could go over and play guitar and he could play bass.
Yeah. Because
he and I mean, and since him and Kate started dating, I guess he and I started dating.
Yeah.
So we've been together ever since, and he's the peanut butter to my jelly, or vice versa.
Yeah. And I mean, this is some,
he's the cookies around my cream.
He's the ball hair on your tiny little testosterone-less nuts.
I'm trying not to spit. You smart ass.
Well, I mean, I definitely remember, and this is funny, like I'm sure I've probably told him and you this before and stuff, but I definitely remember being super hyped about him wanting to come up and jam, because I mean, I knew Fred pretty well at that point, and to me, he was like, Fred was always in my mind, he was the link back to me feeling like I was cool because I knew someone who knew P Tanks and the Piltdown Men.
That is awesome.
So like, I mean, really, like, in all seriousness, like, always, like, Fred, like, when Fred joined the band, like, that, to me, that was like getting, like, I don't know,
seal of approval.
Well, not only getting seal of approval, but just like getting like the bass player version of Eddie Van Halen to join your band.
Yeah, but he played trumpet.
Well, he did play trumpet, but just the fact that, I don't know, because I jocked the P Tanks so hard, and just the fact that I met him back in like the P Tank days and stuff, and it's like, he's the Baltimore guy, and then I got to play in a band with him. I was like, man, this is like too fucking cool for school.
Nice.
But yes, well, a funny story about No Redeeming, playing at one of those Phantasmagoria shows. So it's really kind of funny because when we did start doing the Craven Moorheads, I mean, it really was like, I always make the Descendants and all comparison between the two bands, but it really kind of was true for us, because it's really like nothing changed that much other than, you and Fred being in the band, and like later Aaron and stuff, but because Aaron played bass in Bomb Threat for a little while and stuff. So I don't know, it's just like, it was always funny to me that there was that like link. And then Clevenger came over, so and really, everything was like pretty much exact. So my whole goal with that band, I was always really happy about that. It kind of had been achieved, is that Bomb Threat was sort of ending, and like, I didn't want it to, but I was like, we got to do something to like keep this vibe going, because this is too fun, and like, we have too much momentum to like just like have it completely stop. So essentially, everything sort of continued over, and I was always like really happy about that we got like another couple years of sort of riding that wave.
Stupidity.
Yeah, seriously. But I do, so the point of that though is, at the one Phantasmagoria show, I remember Clevenger and I being in the backstage area there with No Redeeming hanging out, and they were, I mean, obviously those guys are known for just like smoking mad amounts of weed, like nonstop, and like drinking and stuff. So we're in this, and this was long before I had ever smoked weed. So I was still like not drinking, not smoking weed, like little sober boy, and being in the backstage area with those guys, and my little naive brain, like not really knowing the term hot box, like getting hot box. So I'm like, Clevenger and I are back there, and we're like shooting the shit with them. We're like laughing and just like telling stories and stuff. And I just remember being like, man, like, it's really hot in here. Like, I feel like weird, like being back in this room. Like, I need to get out, like get some fresh air, like get something to drink or something. I remember, and this room was small. It was like maybe like a 10 by 10 room. I remember like going out, and as soon as I walked out, it just like hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, holy fuck, I think I'm high for the first time in my life. And I just remember just like feeling hot, and like, man, I was like, what's going on? Like, this room. So I just felt like, basically I was probably like fucking like weed paranoid for the first time, and like didn't know what that was. Just being like, oh my God,
so
like
funny.
This room feels so small and hot. Like, I got to get out of here. And I remember just like walking, like opening the door and walking outside, and Clevenger, I just remember Clevenger like looking at me being like, you're high, sir. And I was like, oh my God, I think I am. He's like, you got to contact Buzz, sir. Good for you, or something like that. And I was like, oh fuck. I really actually think I'm like fucking kind of high for the first time in my life. And yeah, so that was pretty funny. So really, technically, the first time I ever did get high was from No Redeeming Social Value Secondhand Smoke.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. And then, yeah, man, I just think that, and whatever, we can tell other stories later at another time and stuff, but that was kind of like the catalyst of how everything sort of came together with meeting those guys and befriending them. And God, then after that, we just had so many awesome, fun trips up to New York with those guys, playing shows and staying at their house and hanging out. And I mean, it's just some of the like best memories of my 20s was spent with those guys in New York City, without a doubt.
I don't fucking remember those nights. Like, I have fucking canceled. Doubt. Like, I remember sleeping there on occasion. I think we might listen to records. I know we went to White Castles.
Yeah, late night White Castles runs.
Oh my God.
Skating. I remember like Dean got all into skating, and we were skating all the time.
Yes, I remember that.
Like, let's go skate.
Oh my God.
Skate. And like one of the coolest things ever though was, and I mean, you know, like I had been to New York before a few times as a kid and stuff like that, but you know, like going to New York with them was like really getting like an authentic New York experience, like just being, you know, just being in neighborhoods and stuff, and just like places you would never see if you know, were going there to like be in Manhattan or whatever, like typical like tourist shit. So, you know, we were out in like Long Island with those guys and in Queens and stuff. And I remember,
they lived in Queens.
I remember going to their parent, like their mom's house the one day, and like meeting his mom, like meeting their mom and stuff. And like, just how awesome that was. And like, I don't know, like his mom was super cool. And
so did we not go maybe 2 years in a row, but one year we went to like their end of the year cookout thing, blowout. Oz, remember I was drunk as shit and passed out on the way home. And I think you and Jen got us home.
I do remember that, but I remember that it happened. I don't really recall too much about it, honestly. And shit, I wasn't even partying then. So that's just been a long time. But we definitely, so I went up there. I think we went up there as a band probably like 3 times to play shows and stuff. And then we went up the one time that you were just describing. And then there was a 4th time that I went up by myself for when they did their record release show for the CD we did for them. I drove the CDs up for that show and hung out with them and stayed the weekend. And then I think that was pretty much the last time that I had really like seen those guys until they started coming down for like the Mad Stocks and stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah,
because it was.
Yeah, that's fucking wow. That's a long time.
From the time the CD came out, that was like 2001, I believe, and then I don't think the first Mad Stock happened until 2002 or 2003. So it was maybe like a year and a half or 2 years. I think, I don't know. I might be wrong about those years. I'd have to look. I know there was a gap from the last time I went up to when they came back down to Hagerstown to play Mad Stock.
Yeah. I have to look. I have the Mad Stock flyers somewhere.
Yeah, I have them on a hard drive. I actually saw them not too long ago. Because you did the one, it's kind of like a red and black design, I think, with like a girl on it or something. Yeah. That'll just have to be a whole nother day talking about the Mad Stocks.
Fucking mess.
Actually, that might even be a better episode to talk about if Matt actually ever comes on the show, because he can definitely have way more insight into that, because I don't remember any of the origins of how and why that started or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. Were there Mad Stocks prior to us playing them, or did we play every one? I don't think we played every one.
First Mad Stock, from what I remember, was the one with the big stage. It was the one that was kind of like, quote unquote, like a Bomb Threat reunion show, because I think Aaron had been playing bass in the band, and then we did the first Mad Stock we played, and I think that it was sort of like when Matt Powell came back and played bass. And No Redeeming played that one. And I don't remember who else played that. But that was on the big stage. That's when we actually built like a fucking awesome stage. It had like a roof and shit on it. And yeah, I have pictures from that show. And then I think there was 2 more after that. And the next 2 were the ones that were on the ramp as the stage, on the skate ramp.
Wow. I don't remember playing on a ramp.
No, you don't?
No.
Yeah, well, because the one year that was on the ramp, we definitely played, and that's one of the years that was on the skate ramp is when I played bass for No Redeeming.
Oh, okay. I've seen pictures. I've got pictures from it. Just I don't remember playing on a ramp. That's amazing.
Man, you must have
win some, you lose some.
You really were fucking shit hammered at those shows, huh?
Oh my God. I did. I don't know how I functioned. That's actually kind of impressive, I think. Yeah, dude, that shit's all a wash.
Yeah, I definitely have high 8 footage of that show. I think some of it might be on our YouTube channel. I can't remember, but I definitely have digitized all that stuff. I'm just not sure if it's all up online. Dude, I have so much. It's crazy, dude. There's just not I would have to like basically work full time at Potty Mouth Records to get everything online that I have. Like I'll never probably be able to get it all finished. There's so much shit. Like I have pretty much I'd say I have 90% of my shit archived digitally. Like I have everything converted over, but just getting it like all sort of put together in a fashion to kind of edit.
That's consumable.
Just to get it edited in a fashion to like upload it. And it's just a lot of work, man. It's just, there's always just too much shit going on, but slowly but surely I try to hack away at it as much as I can.
And don't call me Shirley.
But anyway, yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to touch on, give a little backstory to the whole Warzone No Redeeming connection for those who didn't know how maybe that came about or who knew but forgot.
So it's funny is I don't know who I was watching a video with. It must have been like me and the kids. We're watching a No Redeeming video from the club in Baltimore. I wanted to say shit. I can't remember. It's not the hung jury SDC, but whatever. It had like a law type thing because it was near the courthouse. I already forgot. Something club. Was it the bar? Anyway, doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, watching a video from it, I'm like, damn it, this show looks fucking familiar. Keep watching. And finally, I realized, I think Fred and I filmed it. There was a reason it looked so fucking familiar, is we filmed it, and then somebody else cut it up for him.
No way.
Yeah. I was like, this just looks so fucking familiar. I was like, I remember that show. Why don't I see it's like, couldn't figure out why I wasn't there. And then it was like, oh, because I'm holding the fucking camera.
Dude, that's crazy. Well, and you said it's on YouTube?
It must have been, yeah. I can't remember the name of the club.
Huh. Yeah.
No, I'll find it.
I'd like to see that.
Oh, can I bitch about something?
Oh, please do.
All right, so this has nothing to do with anything we've just spent the last whatever minutes, hours and a half talking about.
That's fine.
Fuck you, Discovery Plus. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Ready? This is what I'm going to bitch about. They took Antiques Roadshow and the fucking repair shop off, just all of a sudden it was gone. I'm like, where the fuck? Like, this is what I watched to go to fucking bed to. Like, I watched the shit so I can fall asleep, and it was fucking gone. Like, without any warning, just disappeared. Poof.
Huh.
It was so fucking irate. Like, we have spent the last 3 days trying to figure out what we're going to do.
Damn.
Like, it is that much of an integral part of our lives.
They took your sleepy time show. That would piss me off, too.
it did piss me off. Like, we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that
So I just want to bitch. Fuck you, Discovery Plus.
you know what? I'm not even joking about this. I really am going to take your energy and help you feel the pain with this, because I understand how important like going to bed shows are. And I have ones that are my favorite, like going to bed shows. And if they would be taken away, I would be very furious.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So my other one, at least Amazon gave you a heads up that like in a month this shit's gone. So watch it now.
Yeah.
They totally like, it was just like poof.
So like no warning or anything.
Yeah, it was just gone. And like we're at the point where we're fucking researching it online and like reading Reddit threads.
Oh my God.
About people fucking cutting off Discovery Plus because they fucking was no warning and just gone.
Huh.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm assuming that show is like owned by that network, so like it's not going to be anywhere else.
Well, so I think what's going to happen is they're both BBC shows, of course. Is I think they'll get relicensed to somebody else, and then they'll show up. Because honestly, I think Repair Shop was on Netflix for a while. Like I watched it, and of course I rushed to finish a fucking season, and then 2 weeks later, when it was disappeared from Netflix, it showed up on fucking Discovery Plus.
Gotcha.
Sons of bitches.
I'm sorry, anyway. Did you already say this? Is Discovery Plus like a separate thing you have to buy, or is that part of Amazon?
No, it's a separate thing. Like it's like its own streaming service. You need to get out.
Yeah, dude. We're pretty basic with the shit we fucking get. Like I said, we just got Disney Plus. That was like a big deal for us. So
yeah. So Discovery Plus is fucking king because it has all the stupid shows that I like. It even had in my Betty Bice shows as well. Yeah. So it pretty much like out of the streaming services we have, we probably 75% sit on Discovery just because of the variety. And I do like the fact that they pull shows from other, what do you want to say, providers, because they have shit on them that's definitely not as Discovery shows. And like the Repair Shop and stuff's BBC.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that, but it was just so.
And I'm sorry, irritating. When did this happen that you knew the show was not on there?
It happened, I think we realized Monday night.
So what have you been doing?
Oh my God. No. Well, look. So I am so used to not watching fucking commercials anymore.
Oh God, don't even fucking get me started on that topic.
And we found some on the Roku channel, but they have fucking commercials in them. Actually, it's on Freebie, which is the new Amazon free with commercials platform.
Okay.
And so Freebie supposedly, as I've heard from a guy who did a show for them, their goal is not to do what you just groaned about and watch the same commercial 7 times. Like their goal is to actually mix it up a little bit and keep it very limited. Like, and it was still bad because I'm so fucking, I hate commercials. Like, bah. My ADD doesn't work like that.
I think we've talked about this a couple of times now as far as TV shit, but like I seriously can't fucking stand commercials anymore. That I just fucking mute the TV when they come on. Like if there's, and the only place I really get commercials is if I'm watching shit on YouTube. So I just like mute them. But dude, it's like, it's crazy. So, and maybe we talked about this in some capacity before, but one of the things we've been kind of doing recently just for fun, we've been watching like retro commercials on YouTube. Like I think I maybe mentioned this guy before. He has a YouTube channel where he had like posts TV commercials from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yes,
And it's crazy, man, because I was like, well, at first it's like such a cool like memory jogger, you know, like, oh my God, like I remember that coffee commercial, or I remember that fucking brand of shampoo that was terrible,
your
or
hair
like
smells
whatever.
terrific.
Yeah, there's just so much funny stuff, and just like all the old McDonald's commercials,
Oh
and
my
I don't
God.
know, it's just pretty funny. But Trisha and I were both like, if fucking commercials now were like how commercials were in the 80s, like I honestly wouldn't mind watching them, because everything is so loud. Maybe we're just fucking old and don't get it. I don't know. But it's like everything is like so loud and obnoxious. And like I swear that like the commercial volume jumps like 10 decibels between the show you're actually watching. And it's like just people with annoying voices like talking fast, and like I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, remember like just when shit was funny and quiet and
They didn't. Yeah.
wasn't annoying to watch.
I think, well, that kind of just reflect the society, especially with, with YouTube, when you have that 5 seconds where you can't skip it. So they jam as much crap as they can in that 5 seconds before you go to skip it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to change the topic on you again really quick.
I just wanted to bitch about that. Oh my God. You're looking at something now.
My phone has been blowing up for like the last 15 minutes, and I checked it just to make sure it wasn't anything like emergency going on or something. And we've talked about this before, where we have a Craven Moorheads text chain, and there's a bomb threat text chain, and the bomb threat text chain I have going has been blowing up for like the last 15 minutes. I just looked at my phone, and there's like over 40 active messages that I'm supposed to check.
What? Oh my God.
I'm scrolling through, and I'm only reading like bits and pieces because it's like so much.
Are they yelling at us?
But it's definitely something going on where Matt Powell and Dave are ganging up on Matt about something.
Oh shit.
And it's so much, like I honestly I can't even read anything because I'll get off topic and stuff, but I can't wait. I did respond. I said, I haven't even read what any of this is about, but I can't wait to check back in to see what's going on.
Oh my God, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So something's going on where poor Matt's getting made fun of about something.
Is that really surprising? No.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Oh yeah, pal, thank you. Sent me some jams. Jeremy, thank you as well. That was a weird fucking rabbit hole of music I went down. Who knew that India had post metal folk bands? Whatever.
Oh,
and then
that's funny.
Pal sent me like a couple bands, which was fucking awesome. And I sent one of them to Gavin. He's like, those guys kick ass. You've never heard them? I'm like, well, how the fuck? Well, you can tell me they're awesome. And I listened to
what was the band?
I think they're like an Australian hardcore, but it was really fucking good.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Well, I talked to Matt Powell yesterday a little bit, and he had listened to the episode where we talked about like side projects, and he was mentioning about some of the ones like he's like, I can't believe you guys forgot this one. I can't believe you forgot this one. And I was like, some of the ones he mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, that was one I kind of thought about after the fact. But the one that we both kind of arrived at that I think was sort of maybe one of the better side projects that there's ever been, in my opinion, that we overlooked was Nail Bomb.
Why does that sound
familiar? You remember them?
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's the dude from Fudge Tunnel and the dude from Sepultura's little project they had in the 90s.
Yeah, I totally remember that.
Yeah, but that's a really good one.
I thought you were talking about one of ours. I'm like, I don't know if.
Oh no, no, this was a real one. Nail Bomb. And then there was another band that was a side band that he actually recommended to me, and I had never heard of this, and he was actually pretty surprised I had never heard of this band. I was like, yeah, I'd never heard of this ever. And apparently it's, and I tried to look this up on the internet and I couldn't find any like real definitive information about who the actual members are, but it looks like there's maybe a couple people from Nashville Pussy in this band. But it's this band called Dick Delicious and the Tasty Testicles.
No, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Never heard of that? Yeah, so he sent me a song of theirs to check out, and it's actually like pretty funny. So it's definitely very like politically incorrect, like toilet humor kind of a band, like the lyrics.
Well, that'll be horrible.
Yeah. All
right, I have to take a timeout or whatever because I got to piss like a racehorse. Potty break. I'm pottying.
It's time for an official Potty Mouth Podcast potty break.
Oh my goodness. I like that we're a podcast that announces they're going to take a piss. And we just don't hit pause.
Well, I mean, we are the Pottycast, so
yeah,
it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't do that.
That is true.
So the other thing I had, which I actually texted you about the other day, I found another song that is a song that doesn't sound like the band's other material.
Okay.
And it's a pretty good one because I totally forgot about this song existing. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my God, like this is perfect for our little game that we do. But it's actually a Boris the Sprinkler song. And they have a song, it's on the 8 Testicled Pogo Machine record.
Right.
I'll link it up on the website so people can check it out, but it's a song called For Paul's Sake. And
why don't I remember this one?
Yeah, and if you were to hear this song and really like it and then go check out other Boris the Sprinkler, you may be bummed by other Boris the Sprinkler. Like, I think the song's really cool, and I wouldn't even be butthurt if they like played a few more songs like this on occasion,
right?
Because it really does kind of show like a different side of their writing. But yeah, it's kind of almost like a love song, really. It's it's like done with, it's like a kind of like acoustic electric sounding.
I'm gonna have to pull up the Togo 8 Testicle Pogo and check it out. Yeah, I don't fucking remember that at all.
Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up was about you, because you were talking last week about finding new bands to check out and stuff. And I don't really know if these guys are your cup of tea necessarily, but I picked up this record over the weekend in a discount bin, and I just thought the cover looked really cool. I never heard of this band. I didn't know anything about them. But it's a German band, and the record is from 1980, and the band is called I don't know. I mean, I guess in German, it's like the Obwarts. It's like ABWA umlaut RTS, so like Obwarts.
I have no fucking clue.
But the record is called Amok Coma. It's like AMOKKOMA. And it is one of the most unique sounding punk records I've heard in like a really long time. I don't even really know how to even describe it.
Yeah, I'm interested just by the way you're having such a hard time fucking describing it.
Yeah, the best way I could really describe it would be, it's like if like the Sex Pistols and the Talking Heads were a band together. It is like the best thing I can even come up with.
That's crazy.
But it's even cooler than that though. And it's like this really good recording too. Like for 1980, it's very clear sounding. It's like it's heavy and fast, but it's recorded like very like new wave sounding almost. But yeah, I'll link it up so people can
Yeah.
check it out.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's cool. I've been listening to it nonstop since I bought it. Like, it's very rare for me to buy something new nowadays I've never heard and be like really super hyped on, but I've already listened to it like 5 times since I bought it. So like I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah. And he sent me another one that was good, Matt. That is, it's Primal Fury.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, it's just those two were good. Like Gavin hadn't heard of them, but the speed, he was like, "Oh my god, they're awesome!"
Yeah,
And they're really
out.
cool. Yeah,
Well, did he send you that Gazan band?
no,
So he sent me this band called Gazan. It's Gazzan. And it's from 2016. And it's the two brothers it's like basically a lot of the original lineup of Integrity with a different singer.
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
What is it?
It's Gazzan, Gazan or Gazan. So any Integrity fans, if you've never heard that, that's definitely worth checking out. That was actually on Bandcamp where I saw that. But yeah, that was cool.
Damn it. See, I don't utilize the Bandcamp.
Yeah. I used YouTube and Bandcamp way more than I use like Spotify and stuff like that.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, another cool thing too that I wanted to share with you is we just got some new chickens the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did. We've kind of been thinking about it for a little bit. And honestly, I think the podcast where we talked about the chickens, I think it kind of got us a little bit like fired up to like start thinking about chickens again. And yeah, we ended up getting 4 new chickens over the weekend. And yeah,
Did you name them? This is important.
We haven't yet.
What the?
We're going to.
Oh my lord.
Here's the thing. So we got 4, and unfortunately one of them died the very first night, which apparently does happen from time to time. Like they don't really survive the journey from the farm to wherever they're going. And I think something may have actually been wrong with it anyway, because it got pretty sick in the middle of the night. We woke up and it had like basically had a bunch of like really nasty runny poo all over the place, like where it was sleeping. So and it was the chickens are between 6 and 8 weeks old right now. And the one that died actually looked to be a little bit younger. It kind of like was sort of like a runt, I think. So that was sad. So the lady was really cool, and she actually gave us a replacement like the very next day.
Aww.
So we have 4, and so that's one of the reasons why we haven't named them yet, because we're just like, we want to wait like a week or two just to make sure they're gonna like hang in there and everything's cool and stuff.
Do you need a rooster?
We do not want a rooster,
because I got 1 or 2 you can have. I will put them in a box and I will ship them to you.
Nope. That's exactly why we don't want one, because people are always like, do you want a rooster? So no.
Mouthy motherfuckers.
We're good with that. But yeah, man, it's been super fun. Like I was kind of on the fence about getting them. I was like, I don't know, like I'm not sure if I want to do it. And then like the day we brought them home, I was like, oh man, I'm so stoked. Like we've been having so much fun just like going out and hanging out with them and because like it'd been like 1.5 years since we had any chicken. So
for all you people that think we are fucking stupid, I have to tell you, they are entertaining as shit. Like I don't know what it is about them, but they are fucking funny as shit to watch.
Oh, chickens are amazing, dude. I love having them. Like I said, I was on the fence about it, but as soon as we brought them home, I was like, oh man, this was like the right move. And I've been like so happy the last couple of days having them. I've been like going out checking on them during the day because we had to get the coop and the hen house all ready for them because it hadn't been cleaned in like a year. So I spent like a whole morning getting everything cleaned and put fresh dirt down for them and got the watering tray and the feed tray cleaned and all that kind of stuff, put new shavings in.
Here, let me tell you a bad idea.
What's that?
Don't try to clean the inside of the coop out with a leaf blower. I'm just saying, I might have known somebody who did it and it was a fail.
Yeah, well, we don't have a leaf blower, so that's good. But yeah, no offense, but I don't think I would be that fucking stupid. Oh man, yeah, that just doesn't seem like a very good idea.
It might have been an instant shower type situation.
Yeah, I believe it. But yeah, so I don't know. We never had chickens this young before, so it's definitely been like a little bit of a learning curve. There's definitely a few things.
Are you breastfeeding them?
No, we're not breastfeeding them, but they're still in that phase where they basically they don't fucking know what they're doing at all. They like all they know what to do is like eat and drink. Like besides that, they're still in that phase where they don't even know like to go into the hen house at night to sleep. So we have to go out at like 7:45, 8:00 every evening and like physically pick them up and like put them into the house so they know to go up on the roost and stuff. And we have some firewood cut up out back, and I stuck that on the floor inside the coop just so they can have a place to practice like jumping up and getting on.
Oh my Lord.
Because they don't even know, like, because we have like roosting poles and stuff, but they don't even know to get on them yet. So we've been trying to like pick them up and train them to like get up on the poles and all that. Which they are figuring it out. So it is working.
Oh my God.
But here's the thing that's really cool is, because you're supposed to, spend time with them every day a little bit, just like get them to bond with you and stuff like that. But yesterday I went out and I had the idea that I was going to play my guitar for them just to see what they would do. Because when we had our old chickens, I would play my guitar outside a little bit, but they never really seemed that bothered by it or interested in it. They just kind of do their thing and whatever. But I was like, well, maybe if they're so young, maybe they'll like hear the guitar in a different way or whatever. So I went out yesterday with the acoustic and I sat outside the little chicken run and I just started strumming some chords and
playing. My jaw has dropped and I'm just looking at him in amazement.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Curtis has his Zoom monitor shut down, so I can't see his face right now because he kept getting cut off earlier. So I can't see anything he's doing. But I sit down, I start playing some like kind of like Baroque, like classical type chords and some stuff like that. And they're like kind of milling around, scratching and eating and whatever. And then I started playing this one like little passage. And I don't know, there was something about it. I could tell that they got sort of hooked on it and interested in it. So they walked over and like basically stood by the fence where I was sitting and playing guitar. And all of a sudden they like all four of them at the same time, they all like sat down and were just like watching me through the fence. And I kept playing and like they literally like they went to sleep from me playing guitar. Like I actually like serenaded them to sleep. It was
my God,
the most hilarious, cutest thing that has ever happened. I was
expecting Circle Pit. That's what I was expecting.
Not Circle Pit at all. Cause I even read, like what music is best to play for chickens. And they said,
shut the fuck up.
No, seriously. They said classical is definitely like the best thing to play. So I played the best version of classical riffs that I could come up with.
Oh my God.
And they seem to love it. So it was actually really, really funny. But yeah, chickens are awesome. Like I've had all animals growing up. I've been around sheep. I've been around pigs. I've been around cats. I've been around dogs. I've been around cows. And I definitely think that chickens are some of the funnest animals to raise.
I love them.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make fun of you anymore about serenading your fucking chickens because I'm going to bitch that sometimes if I'm not paying attention, like the chicken doesn't go the whole way in the coop. So I go to put the door down and can't, so I have to walk into the fucking run and shove their asses in.
Yeah.
And I'll forget to put the fucking door down after I do that.
Uh-huh.
So at 5:30, the rooster starts going. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because I know I go out and close it, but on nights like that where I get thrown out of my little schedule, oh my God, fucking just shit. And it is fucking, and they'll do it in the middle of the night too. Like I've had them where like the one, like they were fighting, I guess. And the one rooster they wouldn't let in the coop. So he was setting out by himself. And at like fucking 2 a.m, you hear this. I'm like, you motherfucker. So I'm out there in I wish I wore tighty whities, but I'm out in my BVDs fucking picking up chickens and throwing them in the fucking coop because he's out there fucking crowing it too.
Damn.
Dumb motherfucker.
Your neighbors are probably not stoked either.
So the worst thing is when it rains and you have to go into the run. Because the term slick as shit, I think, came from that.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Because if it is wet in there, it is like fucking ice. It's like, zoop.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
It's fucking slick as shit. So that's where I think that comes from.
Yeah, that's a good call. I've never thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Fucking chickens.
Yeah. Yeah, they're...
Go ahead, Butch. Make fun of us again.
What was Butch making fun of?
No, he sent me pictures for me to get hats for him.
Oh, gotcha. That's funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I don't know, we've been like looking up just like different like chicken blogs and stuff about, things you're supposed to do when they're this age and whatever. And dude, it's crazy. I mean, not that you'll probably be shocked by this at all, but there's definitely people that like dress their chickens up and stuff. And
oh yeah, I'm not surprised.
Have like little puffy vests for them and shit. I'm like, God, that's crazy.
That's so fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's like I would never do that, but it's funny to look at, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny to look at. Yes, I couldn't do it, but yes, it's funny to fucking look at.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, I think maybe like good time to like wrap it up. And also I think, well, so this is the 19th episode, so I'm guessing next week is going to be the big 20th episode. Are we still going to do?
Yes, we're doing it.
All right. So we have some technical aspects that we're going to have to work out ahead of time, but I think it's going to be a laugh riot. So,
yeah, we need to figure that out. I'll let that up to you.
Yeah, I'll work on that a little bit.
Well, actually, we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
All right, fuckers.
Yeah. Thanks again for listening and tuning in. And
go DC. Go DC. What was that? I forget that DC. DC is now in the lead. Again? Yeah.
Oh shit.
I can't sing the song anymore. Fight for ODC. Ryder, you can fill the rest of that in. You turncoat.
Oh yeah, gotcha. I wasn't even following it first, and then it clicked. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh, what are they called now? Is it the Bombers?
No, the Commanders, right?
Oh, Commanders. That's right. Yeah.
And the Cleveland is now the not the Indians. They're the Guardians. The Cleveland Indians are now the Cleveland Guardians. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
See, they were sneaky about it. They didn't make a big to-do about it. They just fucking did it.
Gotcha.
Unlike the fucking former Washington team. All right.
Cool. All right. Well, we have a special episode for you guys next week.
Oh my God.
Well, so stay tuned, and it's probably not going to be as entertaining for you as it's going to be for us, but hopefully you'll gain something from it.
Oh my God. Yes. Adios, motherfuckers.
Right. Later. This podcast was brought to you by Potty Mouth Records. Contact us at pottymouthrecords@gmail.com and find us on the web at pottymouthrecords.rocks. That's .rocks. Top that, bitch.